In this video, we explored the Cuyahoga Valley National Park. We visited the two most popular waterfalls in the park, Brandywine Falls and Hen Falls. In September of 2023, my wife and I were joined by our daughter-in-law, Nanki, for an epic RV trip from Connecticut to Wyoming. Along the way, we visited 18 national park sites, including Badlands, Mount Rushmore, Devil's Tower, Grand Teton, and Yellowstone. Well rested after a full day on the road, we pulled out of Silver Springs Campground and made our way to Cuyahoga Valley National Park, the first National Park Service site of our trip. Known for its stunning waterfalls, the park's most popular stop is Brandywine Falls. Hoping to beat the crowds and snag parking for our oversized RV, we arrived early, pulling in at 8:30 a.m. Cuyahoga comes from an Iroquoian word meaning curve or jawbone, a reference to the bend in the river. Carved over time by the Brandywine Creek, the 60-foot Brandywine Falls showcases the classical geological features that define many aerial waterfalls. A hard layer of Berea sandstone forms the cap, shielding the softer shale layers beneath from erosion. Alright, it's 80 steps to the bottom. We're doing it. A combination of boardwalks and steps lead us down into the gorge, offering a head-on view of the waterfall's impressive cascade. Early settlers in the valley viewed the falls not only as a thing of beauty, but as a valuable source of water power. In 1812, George Wallace built a sawmill at the top of the falls, soon followed by grist and woolen mills. The village of Brandywine grew up around these industries, becoming one of the earliest communities in the Cuyahoga Valley. By 1920, the Champion Electric Company operated on the site, producing restaurant appliances until 1937. The plant never achieved lasting success and was eventually abandoned. Much of the original village has since disappeared, lost to time, and the construction of nearby Interstate 271. Yet one piece of history endures: the James Wallace House, built by George's son, which now welcomes guests as the inn at Brandywine Falls. Count the steps, Nanki?
Oh yeah, sure. I'll count the steps. Let's go. That's great. That's 1, 2, 68, 69. 69. Probably from there.
80 steps.
But probably from the start there. It's not at all that difficult, Mom. You want to try with me?
After visiting the falls, we climbed back into the RV and drove to Boston Mills, the heart of the park, to stop by the visitor center, listen to a ranger talk, and stretch our legs on a short walk through the historic Boston area. Villages like Boston developed along the Ohio and Erie Canal in the early 1800s. By mid-century, Boston had become a bustling community with boatyards, a lumber mill, a brickyard, and a warehouse. When the railroad arrived in the 1880s, canal transportation quickly became obsolete. One of the newer industries along the tracks, the Cleveland-Akron Bag Company, produced roofing paper and paper sacks for flour. The factory's former company store now serves as the Boston Mill Visitor Center, linking the park's natural beauty with its deep industrial roots. Lock 32 was one of 44 locks on the Ohio and Erie Canal between Lake Erie and Cleveland and the Portage Summit at Akron.
Now one day, their 11-year-old daughter Clara came out to run and play along the shores of the Cuyahoga River. And from inside the house, her mother, Mrs. Zelinsky, heard her scream. And her mother ran out to see what her daughter was screaming at, and her daughter ran up to her and said, "Mommy, Mommy, God doesn't like us." And her mother looked out to the Cuyahoga and saw that from shore to shore, it was covered with dead fish.
Next up was a 3-mile round-trip hike from Boston Mills Center to Hen Falls, featuring about 580 feet of elevation change. I was especially grateful to have my daughter-in-law Nanki along for this one. Good company always makes the climbs easier and the views sweeter. I often forget to mention this in my videos, but I record all my hikes and rides using the AllTrails app. For your convenience, I've included links in the description below. At just 15 feet tall, Blue Hen Falls may be modest in size, but it's one of the park's most photographed waterfalls, second only to Brandywine Falls. Like its larger cousin, Blue Hen tumbles over a hard ledge of Berea sandstone, which protects the softer Bedford shale beneath from erosion, creating a graceful curtain of water formed by layers of ancient rock. Well, that wraps up Blue Hen Falls, and next we're off to Station Bridge Road. Our next stop was the Station Bridge area of the park, where we explored a preserved section of the canal and two remarkable historic bridges. Brecksville Station serves as a flag stop on the Cuyahoga Valley Scenic Railroad, a nonprofit excursion line that runs through the park. Nearby stands the wrought iron Station Road Bridge, originally built in 1888. After being condemned in 1980, the National Park Service launched a restoration effort. In 1991, the bridge was disassembled and sent to Elmira, New York for repairs, and then returned the following year and reassembled in its original location as a pedestrian-only crossing. Towering above it is the Brecksville Northfield High-Level Bridge, a sweeping open spandrel concrete arch bridge completed in 1931, carrying State Route 82 high over Cuyahoga River, the canal, and the valley below. The bridge stretches across the gorge with dramatic, graceful arches and stands roughly 160 feet above the water. With its striking height and elegant lines, it's one of the most popular features in the park. While in this area, we also visited Pinery Feeder Dam, Lock 36, and the historic Mudcatcher Canal features. Behind me is the Mudcatcher. This dam structure was used to hold back sediment from getting inside of the canal itself, and periodically would have to be dug out. But there's a stream back here that comes down a ravine, and that water coming through the ravine is going to bring sediment, and this kept much of that sediment out of the canal and minimized the maintenance that they would have to do on the canal itself. Our final stop for the day was the Canal Exploration Center. Located beside Lock 38, this historic building once served travelers as a tavern and a general store. Today it operates as a park visitor center where guests can explore interactive exhibits and learn what life was like along the canal. Recharged and inspired after exploring some of the best Cuyahoga Valley National Park has to offer, we're back on the road. Next stop, Indiana Dunes National Park. Thanks for watching today, and I hope you join us on our next adventure.